gonna do a little game. A little game.
A game.
A game.
Uh-oh.
You have to answer these questions in under 20 seconds. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Oh, man, that's hard.
You're failing really hard.
I don't know. That's tough. Oh, man. I like Taxi Driver. I think it's a good film.
Okay. Cool. Favorite television show?
Oh, man. Supernatural.
Favorite book?
Moby Dick.
Favorite song?
Come on, this is going to take 20 seconds. Oh, man. I would have to say Eleanor Rigby. The Beatles.
Favorite color?
Red.
Favorite place in LA? That is, without the doubt, the slowest ever anybody has ever done on this podcast.
That's okay.
Even though it's only been like not 8 people so far. But you win the slow award.
Good.
Okay. When did you first start singing?
In college, actually.
Okay.
Pretty late.
Pretty late, yeah.
Pretty late.
People are like, oh, when I was born.
Yeah, no. Started out as a drummer in bands. So, bumming rides since I was probably 14, 15 to play shows around California. That went over very well with my parents. So.
Yeah, for sure.
No, they're good people though. So, yeah, probably started singing in college. So probably like 17-ish.
Okay, so when did you start doing YouTube?
YouTube? Oh man, like a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
So you went to Berkeley. What did you learn most?
I learned that I really wanted to just go on tour super badly.
Yeah.
And get out of school. That was just me then. Yeah. I mean, I'll still finish over time, whether it's online or whatever. But
Yeah.
I just want to play in a group. I just want to get out there. And
Yeah.
tour. So, I mean, to each his own, I mean, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, you have to go to school. That's your passion. But if music's your passion and you want to be an artist, you just have to play a million shows, write a million songs, I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but, yeah, so pretty early, I think pretty early on, I realized that, so.
Okay. What are the key elements to making an album?
Oh,
do you think?
Dang, that's tough.
I know.
Man, I think it's different with a band than solo. Kind of solo, you can feed off of yourself, and sometimes it's easier. And with a band, someone plays a guitar riff, and like, I don't know if I like that, but I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, so try to come up with other ideas. And sometimes it's faster with a band, because someone can have a great idea in 5 minutes, and it might take you an hour to write a really good drum line or guitar part. But I think just having great shells of songs, and then once you get in the studio, kind of adding to that, the colors. I know that's what Ed Sheeran does is he's got his songs laid out, and he goes in the studio, and then once he gets in there, all the production fills, like backing vocals or like strange instruments or fiddles and whatever he has on there. But yeah, probably this next record I'm making will probably be my 11th or 12th album. Not solo, but
I was
overall.
like, solo?
No.
Like 2 years?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a process, it takes a long time, and I think, I don't know, it's always a good learning experience.
Yeah,
Definitely.
totally.
It's hard.
Like, what have you learned, that has been the most, essential, do you think?
For just making an album?
Yeah, for making an album.
Things don't always translate perfectly from what you're thinking into the track.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the main thing is when you're sitting and writing a song, you picture all these different elements. You're like, oh man, I've heard this band. I really like what they did in the chorus. And you go and record it, and it's going to be something of your own. Mm-hmm. So then you listen back and this is not what I was expecting. This is cool, but I don't know. I think the biggest learning experience for me was tracking, just tracking in general to a click track on time perfectly, because I don't like to just edit everything and just copy paste. I try to get the whole guitar part laid out, and the whole bass line, everything like that. So I think that was the hard part. I had a lot of frustration, even with bands,
Yeah.
like everyone would be like cussing and like throwing stuff at the wall, like, I can't get this right, man, like I swear to God I knew it. And playing it live is different from recording it, because when you record it, it's got to be, unless you want to like T-paint your vocals, but it's got to be really good. I think that was a huge learning experience for me, recording the first, like one of the first albums with a band I had. Like, oh, we're great live. This is going to take like a week to record this album. We went in and it was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because you're under the microscope. Everything, you can hear everything. One vocal part's wrong, one drum part, you can hear it. So you can mostly beat replace that now, but I don't know. I think that's like the main struggle. But I think it's great making a record. I know that, I don't know, one of my favorite bands and a friend of mine, the guitarist for Incubus, Mike Eisinger, like they're having fun making their new record. I think because they have like a DJ, they have like all these weird guitar effects. They just kind of, I think they more like play with sounds and then kind of build their songs off of that. So I don't know. There's like a million ways to write a record.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not Incubus, so like they know a lot more than I do about making a record. And I'm a lot younger, but I think from what I've seen and just bands and studio sessions, I know like an electronic artist is going to have a different process than a rock band is. So. For them, it's more of like getting the samples they like and the sounds they like, and then getting vocals over that. Whereas with a band, you kind of have to have everyone's influence, which can be harder. So I don't know if that was an indirect answer.
That was a great answer.
So yeah.
So Feathers. What would you like to say about Feathers? How was that experience? Just tell me the whole experience.
Okay. Yeah. I was doing a lot of acoustic before, a ton of acoustic, and I was playing tons of shows, and I love acoustic. I'll never stop doing that or having that in my music, but I kind of want to do something a little different. So I did kind of like a more tropical house feel with like the synthesizers and everything, and I had a friend mix and master that edit, and I don't know, I just wanted to go for something different. Feathers was... I just want like a feel-good song, because a lot of the songs that I have are very like, I'm a songwriter, so a lot of them are really sad, and they're about like really sad things, So I think I listened through some of my stuff, and I don't know, I was in the car with my friend, he's a producer, he's like, man, you should write something like happy and uplifting, like people want to dance to. I'm like, yeah, it'd probably be a good idea. So that's kind of where I came into play with that, I guess. So yeah, just kind of. So
what was the inspiration to like the lyrics?
I actually love a poet. He's a Sufi poet called Rumi.
Okay.
So he has a quote about love as a passageway, like a secret window that two people communicate through and no one else knows about, sort of on a deeper level. And that was sort of my inspiration for that song. Yeah, it's not really like, oh, one day. Yeah. So I think if you ever look his poetry up, he's really, really, really good writer. So if you ever have a paper to write or literally anything, and you look at his quotes and his writing, it'll inspire you.
Oh, okay.
Pretty uplifting stuff.
I'll look him up.
Yeah, pretty progressive for the time period he was in. But yeah, I don't know. I was inspired, I think, by kind of trying to write about love in a different way, rather than like, you broke my heart and I'm gonna go die, and like something really sad and depressing. I figured like kind of flip side of it,
Yeah.
Make it happy, because I guess that's what it should be. So
yeah. Who helped you produce the music video?
Oh, that was Danny, Abraham, and Wyatt, and James. Okay. And so we're kind of like a team. Danny is the one who got me signed to Awesomeness TV for YouTube. And so essentially she liked the song. She's like, hey, let's do a video. She was the one that helped out on Flaws. And that was after we recorded an album for Girl Band. And that happened. So it was like kind of like earning my badges, like step by step by step. And now that I'm with them, I'm still earning the right to like, make certain videos, use certain rooms, like not the YouTube space. So you have something like that. That's where we shot some of Feathers.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So it was fun. We originally had a terrible draw at filming. The first 8 hours was not usable, basically. So we had a dancer in there, Laura Fox. She was awesome. And that's why in the video there's so many like close-ups of her dancing.
Yeah.
Instead of far-away shots, we had hours of far-away material. For some reason, the hard drives on the Blackmagic were corrupted.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad. Everyone was so stressed out because we were in there for like 6-8 hours. Like everyone was sweating. Everyone was like not eating. We're like, okay, let's just get this done. And then we plug it in as an external drive, and it's just like all gets corrupted. So we try to salvage what we could of like the close-up shots, and then the other shots we did were actually just in a room with a projector. So
yeah.
That's all we did. And everyone's like, well, like all the shots we did of you performing are completely gone. So I was like, let's just do a projector and project some like non-copyrighted stuff on there. And I don't know, didn't take too long, but we try to. I guess it was less of a meaningful video, but more, I guess, visual. To fit the vibes of the video, you know?
Yeah, that's what I thought watching it too.
Instead of flaws,
it was very visual.
Yeah, super like, I guess the editor, Wyatt, wanted to play with like crazy effects and stuff, so he just...
And feathers.
Had a week, like
actual
I was
feathers.
throwing the feathers as she was dancing, and they were filming it slow-mo. So I was like standing on a ladder partially, and then I think James was throwing some too. We were throwing them into fans. And we only had 2 bags, I guess. And we didn't think about like, maybe we should have more because like when these fall down, we can keep throwing them. So basically every 10 seconds we were throwing feathers, I was throwing them, and then sweeping them up and getting all of them off the ground while trying not to be in the shot of her dancing. Yeah, it was...
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was interesting. It was good, but it was interesting music video.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a little more, I don't want to say like EDM, but it's a little more like on the creative side.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Cool. What are you doing now?
Just music-wise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything.
Yeah.
You want to say?
So right now, musically, I'm working on a new album, and featuring a couple cool artists. I can't really talk about it.
Yeah. Okay.
But one's a female singer, and she's like incredible. I don't even want to sing on the track because she sounds so good. But it's definitely different. Like, it doesn't sound like much else out there, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's I don't know. It's probably going to be around 10 to 11 tracks. So the artwork's done for it right now, and I have about 3 songs done. The production is really crazy on it. So there's acoustic, there's electronic. It's pretty interesting. So we'll see how it comes out. But I'm just working on that right now and kind of shooting covers in between a ton. So this album's been pretty difficult to work on because it's so different, I guess. Yeah. So it's got
that's good.
Yeah, it's got like elements like people like Ed Sheeran could like it. People like Zed could understand it. If you listen to Slipknot, I don't think you're gonna like this album. You may, I don't know. I hope you do, but it's definitely. I have a song right now I'm working on called War Paint, and it's got kind of almost like a Native American influence, kind of like interesting, like native flutes in the verses, and the chorus is like a breakout, like feature bass sort of track. Okay. So it's interesting. I haven't heard anything like it, so I'm stoked. I've showed it to 1 or 2 of my friends. One of them was pretty confused. He was like, what the heck? But that's a good thing, hopefully. Yeah. But, I can play you. I think I might have a clip on my phone. I don't know. But, so just working on that, working on the lyrics. I think lyrics are always a difficult thing to jump on, Yeah. So that's the most challenging for you, lyrics? I would say, it depends. Because, there are artists out there who, I'm not going to say that some tracks and by some artists are more meaningful than others, but, I think that's why some songwriters have such a large fan base, is because when you listen to their songs, they're meaningful, they're about something, and you're like, wow, this tells a story. And then some songs, they're great and they're fun to listen to, but you're like, oh, it's just about going to the club, and drinking. Like, this is a cool track, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can listen to this forever. You know,
Yeah.
this is like timeless, like a rock record or something. So yeah, I think like because I want to make every single track have its own sort of attitude, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
which I was kind of too polite about in my previous stuff. It's kind of like I love it. I love the stuff I was doing, but it's definitely more in the pop realm lyrically. So this one I'm like not caring. So there's like a heavy trap kind of track with pretty aggressive vocals, like
Whoa.
hip hop vocals.
Okay.
So it's almost like Eminem-ish mixed with like a crazy trap track. So it should be pretty interesting. So I hope that one hits hard. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll
Yeah.
see. I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah,
Though.
it's pretty cool. There's a girl. I think she vocal sampled for some German industrial bands, but her vocal samples are actually in the track as the beat, so it's pretty cool, pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of got a darker vibe to it, but I don't want everything to be like super bright and poppy on the record, so
Yeah.
I think it should be cool. So
That's cool.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, just I don't know, that the new album should be done hopefully like 4 months. I'm hoping.
4 months.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
It's coming up.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just working on it pretty much me and having someone else like master mix. So it's definitely a long process. You know, it's not like a team of writing people. Like I don't have anyone write my lyrics or melodies or structure.
Yeah.
Like I play all the instruments on my album. I play everything. So it definitely takes a longer time.
That's awesome.
So some people are like, why? Like, oh, release something next week. And like, I don't have like a label, you know, co-writers, you know, people, session players, and a producer telling me this is what you should do and this is what you can't do and you need to do this to make it better. I've had some guidance with people, but yeah, it's just, it's a long process, you know.
Yeah.
It's especially trying to make something different, because I feel like I could make another acoustic record, but why not try to make something different? People are probably going to like it more. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's strange, like if you hear this really weird track, like you hear this, but yeah, it should be cool. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, pretty much it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm not the kind of artist who sit around like, I'm so cool. Like, I just want to make the record and hope people like it, you know. So, and then working with the kind of a partnership I've been making more is with 3D designers. Instead of music producers. I know that's kind of weird, but we're planning on doing something pretty interesting, kind of like one of the first collaborations of a pretty intense 3D world mix of lyric video. Instead of a music video, I like being in my music videos, but I don't always think it's interesting when like the person singing is just standing there singing. So we're going to try to create more narratives, and one of the tracks we're doing, when we're having a female vocalist on it, I'm going to have just like a really intense, crazy, kind of like theatrical 3D element to it. So one of the guys working in the design worked on Kygo's last lyric video. I don't know if you saw, it was like water spurts. Like, or like, I think all he did was just add like color dye to water and created like these effects. Pretty cool, pretty simple, but still visually I think it worked. So
yeah,
I think that's kind of more like the partnership realm I'm trying to go, because of how powerful YouTube is and all that streaming goodness. So, but yeah, and the album cover looks pretty crazy too. It's like kind of like standing in the middle of nowhere in a 3D world, like on top of blocks.
Whoa.
It's like kind of weird, but
yeah,
definitely different. Hopefully people.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know if anything else, or if I didn't answer, I jumped around too much, but...
no, that's all my questions.
Hell yeah. Sweet.
Cool.
All right.
So, thank you.
We'll cut this.
I hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Hudson Henry. Make sure to check out his newest music video called Feathers. It's on YouTube now. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, as always.